Hi. Oh. Oh, Krisha, thank you watching me from the I wish I had an exercise bike. That's amazing. I saw somebody on YouTube this morning talking about how they had what are they called? The Pendleton bikes. Oh, I want one of those so bad. That would make this all like so much better. So hi Krisha. Good morning. Have fun with your exercise. And good morning to everybody else. Happy pre-Friday. Um, we're getting there. We're almost at the weekend. And don't worry, I'm not going to be on here on the weekend telling you that you need to be super productive because we all need a break. We all need a rest. I have this like wild hair situation. Wild hair, don't care. Whatever. We're working from home as long as it stays out of my face a little bit. Hi, we have a lot of people on. This is fantastic. If you can go ahead and give me a thumbs up, that's awesome. Nathan, I was going to tell you now that you're here, you're one of the winners from Sunday to get a free Deliveroo meal. I'm looking over here because that's where the chat box is. So it's like I'm talking to you. So Nathan, get in touch with me. We'll get you your free Deliveroo because you're one of the winners, and you can get some food delivered to you, so you don't have to worry about going out. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Yes. So Nathan, get in touch with me. So how's everybody doing? This is like a super. I say it every day because it's so true. It's a super weird time. Um, and I just want to check in and see how you are. And that's the point of these live streams, just to make sure that you have something to do, maybe someone to like kind of hang out with in the morning in the chat box while I sort of blab away. But yeah, if you want to put in the comments how you're doing, just you keeping busy? Are you getting things done? Are you getting sucked into the oh, Sam, hi. She feels existential dread. Oh, it's lessening. Good. The existential dread is lessening. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, nobody likes the existential dread. That's not what we're about here. We want to keep that attitude up. Yeah, so keep in touch. Tell me how you're doing. Again, always here. I love that there's this like amazing sense of community happening in the private Facebook group for the postgrads. Like I said, we're getting this influx of more people coming in, which has been fantastic. There's been a lot of conversations, a lot of fun threads, a lot of sharing of what like our desktops look like at the moment, and a lot of sharing of pets and stuff. So it's just been a really good time, and I'm really glad that people are connecting that way and just sort of having fun and having like a community place to go to. So keep it up. I'm having fun reading things and all that. Oh, and speaking of, last night's Netflix party for the postgrads was really fun. I don't know, Krisha, I'm not sure if you signed on. I know that Meg was there. We had a few people in the chat box sort of like chatting away. There were a lot of little digs at me, which is totally fine, like my inability to use technology and stuff like that. Apparently one of the vampires had trouble with that. So they're like, oh, look, it's like the Millennial Shelley. Whatever, it's all in good fun. Oh, Krisha was there. Awesome. Yeah, so that was the chat box is a little bit glitchy. So sometimes we couldn't see people's names, or like the icons weren't coming up right. At one point it said that literally everybody left, but then people were still chatting. So it was just, I think they have some bugs to work out there, but it was a good time. And I think we'll do it again next week because yeah, it was pretty successful. So I think we'll pick a different movie. That was just sort of a lighthearted one, just in the midst of all this existential dread, as Sam said. Maybe we'll do A Quiet Place or something, get a little post-apocalyptic in there, if that's not too insensitive. Just have fun with that. Yeah, so if you want to tune in next week, we'll do that again because it was a good time. So I don't know about you, but on this amazing pre-Friday, I'm feeling a little bit of cabin fever already. Thursdays are a little bit weird for me because I work from home. As I've said a million times, I've worked from home for a long time. But I stack my outdoor activities, like the meetings I have to go to, and I do go to like a lot of meetings and stuff. I stack those on Thursdays, or at least I try to, so that there's one day that I'm sort of getting out of my workflow and out of my PhD writing flow and stuff to get to campus, or to get to all the meetings. Some of them are in town, some of them are on campus. So for me, it's Thursday, which in my brain, because we're creatures of habit, to me, it's the day that I'm supposed to like be getting ready and putting on like real people clothes and leaving the house. And yeah, so today's a little bit weird for me. So if you guys are feeling that in spades, I totally get it. Good morning. Hi. Yeah, so and Neil has big cabin fever too. Yesterday it got to about 4:00 and we started. He's been using the upstairs bedroom as an office, working from home, and I just have my normal work from home office. But he usually works out of the house. So it got to about 4 o'clock yesterday, and we sort of looked at each other and we were like, what are we going to do? Like, we're getting a little bit bored because neither of us is the type of person to just sit and watch Netflix all day. So we ended up, cleaning the house and trying to find ways to get busy. So my stovetop is completely clean. I took it all apart and cleaned it. It's fabulous. But he bought a house that he's totally like refurbing himself. So he would much rather be sort of there knocking down walls and having a good time. So yeah, we're trying to keep busy. So my question for you, because this is a Q&A sort of thing, is what you're doing to keep busy. That's not necessarily work and productivity stuff, because I know I talk about that all the time and staying productive. But we all have to have sort of like hobby things that we do. So what are you doing that's not streaming TV shows and movies or like scrolling on your socials? I need some suggestions because yeah, we're getting a little cabin fever over here. If you guys want to put those in the chat box, either right now or afterward, loving the suggestions. You can DM me if you want. I'm loving all the DMs I'm getting from you guys. They're so much fun to just have people to talk to. So we'll get into some of the questions. I got some on the Facebook group last night. Nathan says he's been sleeping. I mean, if you're catching up on sleep, that's totally valid. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about rest and ways to unwind, because as much as I'm all about getting things done, I think rest is the most important ingredient to getting things done. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. Sam says, I've become a crocheting machine. Ooh, will you make me one of the little Yodas? I really want baby Yoda. Like, I don't like just to like snuggle with, or like as like a cozy to put on my coffee mug or something. She's also been doing some creative writing. That's awesome. I want to get back into creative writing. Doing something creative, I think, would be really good right now. So let's get into some of the questions that I got for you guys, because again, I want to keep this at 10 minutes. I'm already at 7 because I blab too much. So one of the questions I got was about email hygiene. So the question was, so many emails have been coming in about COVID and the whole situation, and it's getting a little bit overwhelming, and this person feels like they're drowning a little bit. So some advice on that. My advice on emails just in general, Sam says she has no more green wool. Oh no, and the shops are closed. Someday we can do a crocheted baby Yoda. So email hygiene. My big suggestion with email, not just in this situation where you're getting sort of bombarded with all this information that you maybe don't want right now, it's a little bit anxiety inducing. I try, and again, I've set up these horrible expectations. I have set up an expectation of being the person who just takes care of things, which I like. I like being the person that people can count on and that people can count on to do things quickly. But at the same time, I've set up this expectation that I will answer your email right away, and I will do the thing that you've asked me to right away, and I will get results right away. And that's not a very healthy expectation I'm learning to have. So I'm making more of an effort only to check my email once or twice a day at very specific times. And if people have that expectation that you reply between noon and 1 every day, or you reply between 4 and 5, then they're not constantly thinking that you're the one who's going to take care of everything. And for the most part, like I said in a previous live stream, usually people figure it out by themselves if you give them an hour or so to sort of troubleshoot on their own and be self-sufficient that way. The other thing that I'm doing when it comes to social media and emails and stuff is, like I said on Sunday night, I bought a little bed that's just for my phone. It's like a little dock that I put it in that's next to my desk in the office. And starting about 8 o'clock every night, my phone goes to bed and I'm done with it. Like I'm in my unwinding time, and usually in the mornings, because I put it on do not disturb, I leave it there. And I think a lot of you may notice that I don't reply to you until 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, even though I get up, around 5. And part of that is that I try to stay off my phone in the mornings. Like that's sort of my time to get myself settled, get my to-do list going. So when it comes to not feeling so overwhelmed by these emails, try to give yourself 1 hour a day that you're dealing with your emails. 1 hour, 2 hours, have a designated time. That's your email time. That's your time to deal with all that. And that might help a little bit with the overwhelm, with that constant sort of bombardment of, oh, we're this panic situation, this crisis situation. This is how we're dealing with it. This is the news. Because a lot of it isn't going to be something that you need to know right now. Like, yes, it's nice to know how the accommodation situation is settling and stuff like that, but you don't need to know that this moment. It's not going to impact your life to know the very second that email comes out. So that's an idea for that. Another question I got was how to re-motivate after lunch. This person says that they're very productive in the mornings and evenings, but the afternoons are absolute rubbish. Again, going on rest, I would say if you're most productive in the mornings and evenings, that's probably totally fine. Like you're probably getting in a lot of hours of work. And if your body naturally wants to take a break in the afternoon, it might be good just to go for it. As long as you're coming back to it in the evening. I can't do that because if I start to take a break, if I start to turn off work mind, I'm done. Like even if it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, if I have sort of switched that button and started to relax, I settle into that like, well, my day's over. Maybe I'll go hang out. It's Bilbo's butt. Hey, buddy. Hi. Look at the camera. Look at all your friends. We have been truly blessed by the buckaroo. Hi. Yeah, and so another idea with, for me with the dog is go out, take your walk during that time, do something that's active, a little movement in your body that might get your energy back up. Some of the other suggestions I had, because you're digesting, maybe a slow leisurely walk. If you didn't have too big of a lunch, the jumping up and down, the sort of calisthenic movement, the HIIT workout type thing might be a good idea then to get that energy back up. But the other option is just to do super simple tasks. The things that don't take a lot of brain power, do the washing up, just do something that makes it so you're not just sitting there and like sinking into the tiredness, but just like the little easy things that don't take a lot of your brain. And then this question was fabulous. What is Bilbo's favorite food? They want to know what your favorite food is, baby. Bilbo is a beast for fish and chips. Like he turns into a different animal when fish and chips are around. He goes absolutely insane. And he's a really well-behaved dog. If you don't know much about him, he's a retired sort of like government working dog. So he's very well trained. He's very well behaved. But if you have fish and chips, all that goes out the window. Like he is on you for those chips. He will go absolutely insane. He's gentle when he eats, but if it's fish or chips, he'll nab your fingers a little bit. So we have to be careful. He also loves pizza. I think we discovered that during Welcome Week a couple of years ago. We ordered pizza for everyone who was helping out, and we had him in the office with us, and he was just the happiest he'd ever been, getting all those pizza crusts and stuff. The other thing that he loves are bananas. And I didn't know that dogs like bananas. This was like, he's my first dog. I didn't know anything before. I just like randomly brought him home from the shelter one day, this little shelter like right on the Mexican border. And I wasn't really planning on having a dog because I'd never had one before, but I saw him and I just fell in love. And the first night that I had him home, because I wasn't used to having a dog, I left a pizza out on the coffee table and like went into the other room to do something. And I came back and he had eaten the entire thing, the entire thing. And the other thing that happened with the bananas was I had one again on the coffee table where he can like sort of reach it next to the sofa. Wild hair on trend. I know, like we're working from home. There's so much dry shampoo in this thing. I can't even tell you. Anyway, I left a banana on the coffee table and I walked back into the room and he was sort of walking away from the coffee table with it in his mouth. And he sort of had this look like he was trying to steal it without getting caught. And so that's how I learned that he loves bananas. I did notice though, when I brought him to the UK, I tried to give him a banana one day and he didn't like it at all. So I don't know if they taste different here or something, but he's like not into British bananas. I don't know. He only likes the Mexican bananas. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't take up too much of your time. I will see dog fur everywhere. This is what happens. This is what you do. You're in your shedding mode. Yeah, this guy totally wants my attention. So those were some of the more interesting questions. If you also submitted other questions, did he eat the skin too? He tried. He bit down into that thing. He loved it. He's my little hobbitus. He's my little banana eating hobbitus. Oh, you sort of ruined the live stream today. We're not being so productive, but I don't mind it because I love you. Because I love you. All right. I'll end it there. If you guys have other questions, go ahead and send me a DM or post them in the postgrad group or in the comments of this video, and I'll come back on and answer some of them. But I think this guy's sort of itching for some attention or to get outside a little bit. So be well, take care of yourselves, wash your hands. As always, reach out if you have questions or need anything. I'm here for you. Flora's here for you. Zoe's here for you. One thing that I will say, and I'll post this in the group as well, because I think it's important for everybody, especially the three of us, to remember that we're full-time students as well. And we're sort of coping with getting our academic work done in this situation as well. And that we do this as volunteers. So just please keep that in mind. We don't have the control over a lot of things. that I think some people think that we might have control over. We're definitely here to advocate for you and make you feel supported. But please do remember that we are volunteers and we do this because we care. And we totally don't mind helping you out. But every once in a while, just it's nice to remind people, like, this isn't our job. I can't quite help you with that. You don't need to be angry about it. I'm just doing my best. So anyway, I'll leave you with that. Krisha says, Mom said that she didn't know the dogs. I didn't know that dogs like bananas. Look at this little face. How can you not love the buckaroo? All right, I'm going to take him out for a little walkies. Be well, stay safe, be in touch, and yeah, we'll see you later. Bye. Say bye.